Welcome back to the Young, Dumb, Broke podcast. I'm Young, Dumb, and Broke, and
I'm Alex!
yeah.
A little bit less silly than last time. I think we're getting into a more mature tone this time.
Yeah, we're talking about some deeper conversations.
Yes, exactly. We're going to start deep, we're going to continue deep, and then we're going to get really silly. But for the sake of making sure everybody stays along and it gets more settled. So, we want to start with our icebreaker as per always. This one's labeled the career time machine. Yes, AI came up with it. Before you say it and before she gets on me about it, yes, AI came up with it. But I assure you we'll add something more creative to it than just doing what the AI says. But the question is important. Would you rather know exactly what job you'll have in 10 years or be able to redo one career decision from your past? I thought about this a little bit, but I'm really curious where you sit on it.
So here's the tricky part of this question, right? I don't, in 10 years, will I want
a long way away.
Yeah, but will I want to go back and fix the career decision? That's the tricky thing, because right now, I don't have any career decisions that I'm saying, like, I wish I didn't do this, or I have any regrets. So I would say I would rather know what I'm working towards so that I can, be making sure I'm making the right decisions. But in 10 years, looking back, I might say, man, I really wish I didn't take this job that happened 5 years ago. But I don't know what's going to happen 5 years ago. So 5 years from now. So it's like, I think that I would rather know. I think I would rather do neither of these things.
Okay, you just reject the premise?
You're
not allowed to just reject the premise.
I
you
have
to pick.
Then I want to know what I'm doing in 10 years.
I think that's the right answer. I have a question before we go on to any other things about it. Do you subscribe to the it's going to happen time travel theory? So say you see 10 years into the future. Is it inevitable that you reach there? Is you even making a move to possibly not have that same job actually aiding your path towards it?
I would, if in this scenario, I would say that if I'm seeing 10 years into the future, that's it. It's locked in.
Okay.
But also, I have so much confidence in myself that if I'm seeing 10 years in the future, it's going to be a good future.
I feel you. I do in theory in like the movies. I love that theory of time travel because there is certain inevitability things, and very often it's a really good moral lesson that you often. It's Kung Fu Panda actually that says it the most eloquently, but we'll try to do it a different way that sounds better, which is you're gonna screw up trying to not screw up. So
How does Kung Fu Panda say it?
Kung Fu Panda says something you very often find your turmoil on the path to avoid it. I think that's Kung Fu Panda. I think that's Master Shifu.
I think Kung Fu Panda also says everybody was Kung Fu fighting, which is my favorite.
No. That was a song before that, and then they used, rightfully so, they used it. Unless I'm misremembering Kung Fu Panda. Jack Black is many things.
I think that everybody was Kung Fu fighting is the most inspirational thing to come out of that movie.
You're
hard work, dedication. Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
But why does inherently?
That's pretty inspirational.
Why does everybody Kung Fu fighting inherently mean that there's discipline, that they're working hard?
Discipline.
Maybe they
good
stink
deals,
at it. Maybe they stink at it.
Being kind to one another, and everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
You know what my favorite
That's
part
the
of
morals
that
of the story.
Song is?
What?
My favorite part? I love the flutes. I love the flutes. It's so cool.
I thought you were going to mention another lyric, but I don't know any other lyric.
And
all I know of the song was everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
It's all about the flute, though. It's all about that flute. I'm a flute advocate.
Yeah.
So, with that, sorry, we'll get back on base. My bad. I know what I would say. I would look 10 years in the future as well, mainly because I like where I'm at, but it's the butterfly effect thing. I was having this conversation with somebody last night. The smallest flicker of a lash can change things. And I don't know if going back and making a decision that I think will put me on a path will actually get me there. It's kind of the same mentality. It's the FAFO mentality that we're talking about where you're trying to avoid the future.
I have a question.
Actually impact the past? What's up?
I have a question that I think is follows this line of thought for you. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Like, if you could see the future and it's the future you want to be, where are you in 10 years?
I don't know where I'm ending up career-wise, actual location, though I'm amenable to many different places. I would say at that point, I've built enough of a reputation, but I'm still in Virginia. So we have good work behind us. I would say I'm a manager, maybe a director, Beyond that, I don't know. My career journey, more specifically, has already taken multiple turns. I was going to do construction there for a little bit, and that was for a lack of really knowing what I wanted to do. But I started in that manual labor sphere. I was a ski instructor for 7 years, so that seemed like a possibility, move out to Colorado. I've taken so many turns that to pretend as though my skill set is ever going to be shoehorned into one thing would be naive. Yeah. And I do believe that I could pivot, not easily, because every single thing that you go on to do in life is going to have that uptake.
Okay, all of this is great, but where do you see yourself in 10 years?
The answer is I don't know. The genuine answer is I don't know.
Where do you hope to be in 10 years?
Yeah, hope to be 10 years.
I know you don't know. It's 10 years from now.
That's 100% fair.
Where do you want to be in 10 years?
My aspirations have nothing to do with work. I have not even put enough thoughts into it. I want to be a father. I want to be married. I want to have a house. I want to be, hopefully, a contributing member to my church. I would hope that we have at least 2-3 kids by then, but that's my preference. I think God is on our side on that one. I think nature's on our side, biology. So there's a little clock that we both have to pay attention to. But otherwise, whatever helps me fulfill that dream, whatever helps me be a father who can not only be present in the house, but also provide.
That's good.
What about you? Where do you actually see yourself?
I feel like you know this.
I know, but they don't.
I want to be a mom. Mm-hmm. Like, my career goals are to be a mom. I first and foremost want to be a mom. I have to find a man in order to do that.
She's available.
I'm
just
single.
In case that wasn't clear. We're going to turn that into a short. Date her.
Yeah, I'm
well,
single.
after
but
February.
I'm in a period of no men.
After February,
I'm locked in on the Lord right now. I've dedicated this time to Him. But I will be single again. So boys,
if you have a stopwatch, set it
a lot. So I want to be a mom. I want to find a loving husband who I can submit to, and like first and foremost, my career goal is to be a mom. And I think that like other things happen as well. I love running events. I've loved the work that I do. I'm about to take a new job. I think I will love the work I do there. I'm pretty confident that I will. I think I'm really good at details. I'm really good at schedules. I'm really good at all the things that would make me a perfect mother. I want to be a mom.
Soccer mom Taylor on the sidelines.
Young men. I'm looking for a nice Reformed Baptist man.
That
putting that out there.
Really important. Reformed.
No Catholics.
Yeah, well, there's a bridge there that's hard to get over at the end of the day. No matter how much you want to both have similar goals, there's a difference there that is going to be extremely hard for both ardent believers to step across.
So I hope in 10 years, I look into the future and I see 10 years from now, I am married to a godly, loving husband who does good work, and I get to support him in that by raising his kids and supporting our community and our church and being an active member of life. And if that's in DC, that would be great. I love DC. If it's not in DC, that would be great. If it's in the South, that would be great.
I was going to say the South,
but wherever the Lord takes me, I trust the Lord, and I know if I say I'm going to stay in DC forever, He'll take me out. And I know if I say I'm never leaving DC, He'll take me out. I also know if I say I'm going back to Texas right now, He'll make me never leave.
Break down on the way there, and then we'll have to come pick you up and bring you back.
He's very kind in that he is very funny. And I
what's your mix?
I don't know Lord's plan, but
what's your mix of kids? I'm not saying that you're gonna achieve whatever you want.
Kids?
Yeah, between the genders.
That's so weird. Okay.
What do you want? What do you want? You want
what
more
race
boys?
Do you want your children
to
be?
Goodness, more girls, more girls, more. I would hope so. If
I could adopt.
Yeah, you could. You could. That's fair enough. And those that do it are blessed people.
Yes, truly.
You have more patience than I do in most cases. But the mix of the genders of your children. I know most people
healthy. I knew you were going to say this.
You don't have an ideal. You don't have an ideal.
My ideal, like gendered child, healthy.
No, I'm saying the mix.
They will be either a boy or a girl.
The mix of your
and
litter.
And they will stay that their whole life.
The mix of the litter. What do you want? More boys, more girls? Is it just a guy thing that we want to mix?
I want as many as the Lord will give me. And so if that means 25 girls, I'll take 25 girls. If that means 7 boys, I'll take 7 boys.
That is the most avoidant answer ever.
As many as the Lord will give me. I'm not going to. Well, listen, if I have a daughter one day and she's watching this and she goes, well, I guess mom wanted 4 boys and all she got was me. I want her to know I am so glad that I have you and I love you. And I'm like, the Lord has been so kind to put you in my life. I don't want her to be thinking about,
Yeah, my kids are going to hate me because I'm about to say something really mean.
So,
So, if
Alex wants you to be something else.
If you're my future daughter, I hope you know I love you, and I will probably understand that love that people talk about between a father and daughter even more because of your blessed presence in this world. I also want a son. I will stop at 3, and if I am outnumbered 4-1, God has a different plan, and he is laughing in my face. Fair enough. But I want a boy, and I will go till 3 to have a boy. If otherwise, I don't really care. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't actually matter. But there is something beautiful about the relationship between a son and a father. And my dad did a great job, and I want to do a better job. That's nothing against my father. It is literally the imperative of our species to raise...
That's the way boys work.
Yeah, it's the imperative of our species in general to have the characteristics and balance within a relationship in order to be able to raise the next generation to do the exact same thing. And I want to make sure that the great things my father and all the men around me have taught me, I am able to teach and pass on and ensure that the future generations have good men. And I want to have good daughters as well for that exact same reason.
Do you feel like you want... I feel like this is more of a man desire than it is a woman desire. Do you feel like you want to be, you strive to be better than your father?
I think, yes. I was told a long time ago that's something that I shouldn't say. And it's not in the sense that it's inherently bad. It was something more interpersonal level. And if my dad's watching this, you did a great job. You could probably see that, and I would hope that you're proud to some degree. But of course, inherently, I don't know, maybe it's a drive that underlies things. I compare myself to my father at a similar age, and I say, okay, we're doing similar things, but I could do better here. There's things he tells me about that I didn't take seriously when I was younger, habits, practices that I need to. And the reason that I want to take those on is because he's obviously successful. He's done an amazing thing. He was able to raise me, one of the most stubborn, annoying children in the world.
So true.
100%. If you know me,
if you're
know
stubborn
it's
and
true.
annoying now, I cannot imagine how stubborn and annoying you were as a kid.
If the kids are anything like me, if they have anything like my genetic makeup when it comes to my annoyance,
your future wife.
Yeah, it's gonna be painful, but it's also going to be humbling, and it's probably necessary. But yes, I want to definitely be better than my father. I want to strive to do more and better things than my father because he's done a lot, and that's a high bar. And if you're not stretching for the high bar, if you're not reaching for something, then why are you playing the game? Period. Full stop.
I mean, and it's different for me. I feel like, and it's partially maybe. I just don't. It's because I'm not a man. I don't think I have that in internal desire as much. I take pieces of my mom with me everywhere I go, and I look up to her and I respect her and I admire so much. She is someone who really taught me about God and taught me about life and what it means to be kind, what it means to be good to children, and she's a children's minister. She does children's ministry, and so there's so much of her. She's so creative and she's so kind and she's so caring about everybody around her. I take pieces of that with me, and I really admire that. But it's not that I and obviously I want to be better than her. But it's not that I'm trying to be better than her. It's that I take the pieces and I go, oh, that's great. I'm going to let those be a part of me. And then I'm going to leave some of the other pieces and I'm going to go. But it's not about the striving to be better. That's fair. More about appreciating her as she had, appreciating the pieces of her that I take with me.
Maybe it's just a naturally competitive
I do
thing.
think it's a little bit of a man is just more competitive.
I also don't get it wrong, Mom. I also want to be better than you. That's not even a joke because both of them are successful in their own right, and both of them have qualities that I want to emulate. And it's not a pure competitive thing where I have to be better than them at these things. Though, at some point, it's learning, growing, and they set a great example. How can I improve? If I was to take the competitive edge out of it, it is truly trying to be the best of both of them and even picking up where their failings are and learning from them. Yeah. Because as is life, I mean, I don't see a point here on this earth without trying to get better and getting closer to God. Yeah. And I think that striving to learn from the mistakes is striving towards truth. And we had this conversation before we came in, which I inherently think is linked to pursuing God.
And I think that when I look at my mom, something my mom has said my entire life, and she says, I just want to raise children that are better than I am. And that's something she has told me forever. And so I look at my mom and I think, like, you're a good woman, you're a faithful woman, you are kind, you're loving, you're caring, you pursue God above everything else, and you try to love as many people as possible. And I look at that and I go, that's great. That's the kind of woman I want to be. Not all of it. Like, she's human. I want to learn from her mistakes. But she's also challenged me to do that. You know, like, she's given me permission to be better than her. Like, my entire life, she has told me I want to raise humans that are better people than I am. And I think she's done a really good job, and I'm very, very grateful to have her.
It's a really high bar, and I think a lot of parents think they fail when they don't, or they don't. Some are not fortunate enough to see the fruitions of their labor, the fruits of their labor. Though I think a lot of parents are in their own heads about it. And I'm not saying that your mom is or my parents are, but I think that's one of those things where we don't truly, as people, give ourselves enough of a break sometimes. And that's frustrating when you see people who genuinely have doubts about whether or not they're good parents. And there are plenty of cases I know.
My mom doesn't believe in breaks ever. Whether that means resting from work or being kind to herself. She's always asking, do you think I was a bad mom? No, Mom. You're a great mom. Are you kidding me? The best of the best. I love you. My mom doesn't believe in breaks. She also doesn't believe in boredom. I was not allowed to be bored as a child.
I like that perspective.
If I ever said I was bored as a child, she had this colander of boredom. And it was this cooking colander that she would put little pieces of paper with different activities, and some of the activities were fun. Very few of them were fun. It's like
she's putting you to work.
Like, some of the activities were like read a book, color a picture, go for a walk outside, and most of the activities were like do the dishes and take out the trash.
So it's a gamble when you put your hand in there. You don't know what you're getting.
But that also means we weren't allowed. If we ever said at any point in time we're bored or I'm bored, Mom, I'm bored, she would say, "All right, go get the colander."
That explains your energy in life.
I'm never bored. I do not let myself be bored. I do not know how to be bored. I cannot sit still, and my mother has trained me that way.
I don't inherently disagree that I don't necessarily know how to be bored. It is not something that I ever care to do. So
as soon as I start to feel a little boredom boiling up inside, I'm like, gotta go.
Yep.
Come on, guys.
It used to be Instagram.
We're going on an adventure.
It used to be Instagram. It used to be YouTube. Now it's different things, but it's still there. And that's my grandmother, though. My mom and dad, I don't think I ever said I was bored to them because they just would look at you like, why? You could do so many things. You're literally in the middle of the woods. You could go out and have fun, blah, blah, blah. But my grandmother very, very often said, okay, you're bored. Let's remedy this. She didn't make it a colander, but she said, okay, what do you want to do? It was never, why are you bored? And then stop there. It's always great, deal with it, which is a good perspective in my opinion.
My mom was more like you're bored? We're punishing you. Boredom will be punished here.
I'm going to give you the meatloaf with the big toe on it. You have to eat
it. She's like, you're bored? Okay, do the dishes. Oh, you're bored? Okay. Pick up dog poop in the backyard.
I could see how that would be frustrating. You're just trying to enjoy some small
But I'll never
moments.
be bored again because
fair.
I can't. Because as soon as I get bored, I start getting all antsy.
You start looking for a cauldron. Where is it? Oh,
people ask me how I end up in flash floods or how I end up meeting strangers and going on adventures. And you want to know why? It's because I can't be bored. I'm not allowed to be bored. I can't be bored. Thanks, Mom.
I think that's the day. That day that you first mentioned is when we started getting closer than just like colleagues.
Yeah, that was a tough day. Are we talking about that right now?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying like that
I got
day was
stuck in a flash flood. That is a story.
That
for the
day
podcast.
Was a turning point. And I, as much as it sounds terrible, I am very happy both of you made it out, and I'm happy that you decided to come to our house and that you trusted all of us there to help you out.
Yeah. Basically, to sum it up, because I think I will tell the story eventually on the podcast, but I got caught in a flash flood genuinely thought my best friend was dead for about 40 minutes, was in complete shock, had to be rescued by fire. We both had to be rescued by EMS and firefighters. And I showed up at his house. He lives in a house with a bunch of Christian guys. And showed up at his house. And one of his roommates fed me, and another roommate gave me clothes, and another roommate just sat, and I was just in complete. It was such a blur. I was in complete shock, but they took good care of me and my best friend after we were literally. I didn't stop shaking. It was a tough day. But
and then another friend came in and whipped us into shape and said, "Whoa, what are you guys doing? Just stop being weird." Yeah. It was honestly kind of, and my joy is about her this week, but we'll get to that at the end.
Very fun.
Right now, we need to not be joyous. We're going to be angry. We're going to be frustrated. I'm ready to talk about mine. Are you ready to talk about yours?
Hit me.
Okay, so mine's about Apple credit increases. You're going to be saying, whoa, what does that mean? I have an Apple credit card. Got it a long time ago. And I have a schedule. I know it's going to sound boring.
So nerdy.
I know, but it's frustrating to no end.
My finances aren't perfect anymore, Taylor.
Okay. So I have a schedule. Every 6 months, I ask them for a credit increase. It's supposed to be 180 days. That's why I do it every 6 months. Great. I can send in a message and say, I want a credit increase. Since the last time, I have had pay increases. I've gotten a little one from actually completing some of my certifications. So I say, great. I actually have a great rationale. Rather than just asking them, rather than just saying, hey, be nice, I actually have a rationale. I make more money, which means I can spend more money. So maybe you should increase my credit limit. And they come back with, actually, you haven't used enough of your credit in the time and you haven't made enough payments. And I shot back. I was like, actually, I've made all my payments. I make every single payment ahead of time. I have never once needed to utilize the fact that you are going to charge me interest on the money. But yes, I do keep my utilization low because I don't want my credit utilization percentage to go up and hurt my credit score. And then from there, we go back and forth. Manuel's really nice. And I said, make this make sense to me. Make this make sense. You're going to tell me I have to spend more money and increase my credit utilization in order to actually have my credit increase to lower my overall credit utilization in order to keep spending money on this card. Does that make any sense to you? I am not incentivized to use your product.
It actually kind of makes sense to me.
No, I understand from their perspective, which is if you do not continually use the max, you're not a person who's going to possibly fall into debt in the future. Yep. And therefore, it is not worth them giving you more credit. It makes no sense if you're not even using it.
It definitely shows how evil this is, like this card is, and the whole credit system. Yes. Because the fact that they're not letting you increase because you're responsible
if you're trying to be
very
smart
upsetting.
If you're trying to game it.
But also, from a business perspective, I get it. Of course.
No, I understand
it's evil.
As a person who went through business school, I get it so terribly. But also there's an inverse directly there, which is if you increase my credit limit, I literally told them, because we're talking about economics, we're talking about business perspective. I told them this makes me want to use your product less. And if I don't use your product, you'll never, ever have a chance for me to not make a payment and get interest. I said, no, I literally said, so what you're telling me is that you're actively disincentivizing me from using your product. And you're making me not want to use it. And then Manuel said, well, that's hard, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, not to call you out, Manuel, but I don't know you. You're never I don't have a last name, so you're not going to get in trouble. But I followed up and I said, okay, can we open a claim, please? Not just have this in text that I was rejected. Can we open a claim? And they said, yes, we can. I have not gotten the email yet.
What the heck?
I have trust and faith that this third day since this incident, because it was on Tuesday, I have faith that I will get an email from Manuel and his case officer because it's outrageous. I want to use your product. Just let me use your product. Even if I have to use it responsibly and have to justify it each and every time, I will, because I actually have faith in what you're doing, especially when it comes to Apple purchases. It makes sense. Sorry. That's a little bit of a further rant than we need to go on. What's getting you all riled up this week?
So my frustration of the week is there was a mean comment on the YouTube that was unjust. All right. They said to me, I was getting worked up over something that was fair to be worked up over. You had said that people should wait until December 1st to drink hot chocolate. And I was very worked up about this. Naturally so, because why are you policing my hot chocolate? And
I don't just do it to you, I do it to everybody. But okay.
And somebody online saw me worked up and said, I bet she is a
no
lib
context, by the way.
Yeah.
Said it.
He just said this. I bet she's a lib who just got proved wrong. Am I right? No,
no,
you're not right.
You're not right.
What are you talking about?
And
I'm more conservative than he is. He would push back against that.
I would argue
but
against
I would
that,
say
but,
I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm saying this. Okay. Imagine looking at 18-year-old Taylor. All right. She just got kicked out of college Republicans for being too conservative on her campus.
Yes.
She has started 3 conservative organizations on her campus, or 2 conservative organizations is on the board of another on her campus. She's a chairman on the board of Young Conservatives.
Watch out, guys.
Texas.
She's about to rant harder.
She's been filmed and spit on for mentioning a conservative while walking in public, and looking at that sweet girl right before she moves, right before she moves to Washington D.C. to work in conservative politics, and saying, "Oh, sometimes you get a little bit frustrated, so I guess you're a lib."
No,
I'm not a lib. But just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I'm a lib. I'm very conservative, and just because I was making a joke too. I was joking about like being demure, and like I was yelling while saying I was being demure. That was the joke. That was the bit, brother. You
better watch out. They're about to call you a lib again. They're about to come after you.
Like it's literally like the joke was written there. Yep. Like the joke was, oh, I'm being demure, and you're crazy, and I'm the rational one. Clearly I was joking, and it was about hot chocolate, and it's like, now you're gonna call me a lib. And I've gotten other mean comments, right? All those mean comments, they don't hurt me as much as calling me a lib, because I'm like, if only you knew how could, like, oh, if only you knew.
Anger is bipartisan, guys. Okay, don't try to pigeonhole it.
I can be a conservative woman and angry about hot chocolate. All right, don't police my emotions.
Oh my gosh, you're using lib language.
No, it's more libertarian language.
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong.
Libertarian language. Don't tell me how I should use my speech.
Hey, you're allowed to do whatever you want.
But I was very upset by this, because I was like, you're looking at someone who is very conservative and who has dedicated her life to the conservative cause thus far. I've spent my entire early 20s literally working in the conservative movement, and you see one clip and you say, I bet she's a lib. Brother, what have you done for our country? Probably nothing.
She is just a huge fan of hot cocoa, and I screwed that up for her.
I just love hot chocolate. I'm not a lib. I just get very passionate about hot chocolate, okay?
I don't think you should put up Christmas ornamentation.
I think that's a
trees
gay take.
Before?
Am I allowed to say gay on
December
here? Are you going to bleep that?
Probably. Probably do both. But the point overall, I don't think you should do any of it until December 1st. After Thanksgiving, if it's a late Thanksgiving, I get getting ready, but you should not do it until December. And I actually lost a bet recently with the person that we talked to right before we stepped on. We did a rock, paper, scissors game for when we could start putting up Christmas ornamentation and everything of the sort. Immediately after Thanksgiving or on the first day of December. And this is not just a rock, paper, scissors for this year. It was all time. I repeat, all time until amended, which it is not going to be amended because she won. So in 15 years, when my kids say, hey, why do we always start setting up right after Thanksgiving? I'm going to say, because your mom won a game of rock, paper, scissors while we were sitting in a parking garage. And it frustrates me. I had to get a little bit of extra frustration out.
That's actually beautiful. And to Alex's future wife that did this, I'm very proud of you. I love you, but you know that I love you.
She got so much smarter this time, because normally she just goes and then she falls into the same pattern. This time she grabbed her little cup and she went.
She thought about it for a second.
Exactly.
She let herself collect. She knew this was important. I bet she was holding on to her new rock paper scissors strategy until it was like, okay, if I tell Alex that for the rest of our lives we will be doing this thing that I want to do, and he wagers because he thinks he's gonna win, I can manipulate him. And
bro, she out-roboted the robot.
I'm proud of you.
She out-roboted the robot.
I'm proud of you. Like that's such a good game.
Bro, 100%.
She's amazing.
100%, and she deserves it.
I'm inspired by her. She does deserve it. And for the rest of your life, when the Christmas decorations go up early, you can think, "Wow, I
suck at rock paper scissors."
Suck at rock paper scissors.
That's what I will think.
But I love this woman. That's so good.
That's 100% fair. My bargain with her at that point will be we have to get a real tree. I prefer real trees.
I think honestly, if you have to do a little bit of compromise, you can play another rock paper scissors game about it.
No, she won that. No, we're doing real trees. Okay, that's enough about that. And we're not going to talk about my future anxieties about constantly losing rock paper scissors games for really important things, but we are going to talk about corporate anxieties and how they affect you in the workplace, how you can deal with them, managers, so on and so forth.
That's a great segue.
Yeah, I know, because I was planning it for the last 5 seconds. I'm just good at this,
Yeah, you're just really good at this. You're so good at this.
yeah, it's that Virginia
Best
superiority.
Podcaster there
Whoa, okay, whoa. I'm not coming for Joe Rogan's title. I could never be that
second
bald.
Best podcaster there is.
There are plenty more.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in order to be a good podcaster, you have to be bald.
Yep, you have to be.
You're shaving your head, I guess, for the podcast.
Well, it's getting a little thin here, so maybe I'll have to here soon.
Every good podcaster has to be bald.
Yep. And when I get to 50, I have to start doing TRT so then I can
exactly. You have to be bald and jacked to be a good podcaster.
I don't know any podcaster, Tim Dillon, that actually does anything the other way around. All the young guys, they're all bald, right?
Everybody's bald.
Yeah. I've never seen any videos like Lex Friedman. He's bald, right?
100%. I think everyone's bald.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro.
I mean,
bald.
That's the thing about podcasts, right? Is I can't see them, so they're all bald.
Oh, 100%. The Crooked Bros, bald.
When I'm listening, I'm like bald.
Yep. Yeah. Ezra Klein, bald.
Yeah, bald.
Okay, we got off the mark a little bit. So the corporate anxiety, how to deal with it, how to not only deal with it yourself, but also the surrounding anxiety that you're going to obviously approach. Because even if you're a cool cucumber, other people are not going to be cool cucumbers. Taylor, do you want to?
Yeah. So we have 3 categories for corporate anxieties, and I have them listed as personal anxiety, manager anxiety, and friend/coworker anxiety. And so I think I'm going to start with the personal anxiety.
Yes.
So I think a lot of especially when I was getting started, when we were discussing this earlier, we kind of both landed on we're actually a lot less anxious than when we first got started in the workforce.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone starts very deer in headlights. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very anxious about all this stuff, but it actually gets a lot easier as you keep going and you get more advanced in what you're doing, and the more confident you become in what you're doing, the easier your work becomes and the less anxious you are at your work.
There's consistent rhythm. You may be taking on new things, but you know the basic stuff just like that.
But I was talking to a coworker earlier today, great coworker, one of the best, and we were talking about how sometimes our fear of failure drives us to procrastination, either in the workplace or in our personal lives. And I think it's something that I felt a lot, and I feel a lot. That fear of failure, it either drives me to overwork and to spend all of my time working, or it drives me to procrastinate, and both are unhealthy.
Bad responses.
Both are not good responses. That's not the ideal place to be living in, because you're not supposed to be living. You shouldn't be living in the fear. But I do think that a lot of, if I look back at my time in the workplace and my time in life in general, a lot of my decisions and a lot of where I am today is because I have this overwhelming desire to perform well and a desperate fear of failure.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm just like I'm gonna be the best events person I can be at all times, and if I fail, I'm a failure, and so I can't fail. Failure is not an option. I'm gonna keep going. Or it's like it's like, yeah, I was doing political work when I was in college in Texas, but then it's like, but what would be cooler than doing political work in Texas? Doing it in DC. I'm moving to DC. If not, I'm a failure. And so it's like, I feel like a lot of my personal life has been driven by this like personal fear of failure. And I think that's true partially for even like friendships. It's like, if I don't have friends, I'm a failure. I'm failed in this aspect, and I won't let that happen. So it's like, it drives me. My fear of failure drives me. And I think that some of it is not unhealthy. Because my drive is good. Like, that's a God-given drive. But I also think that like some of it is unhealthy, where it's like you shouldn't be acting in fear. You should be acting in, joy and in contentment and in acknowledgement. This is the right thing to do, not the thing that you're just like least scared of or most scared of. And so I think overcoming your fear of failure though happens when you fail a bunch. Like, the more that you fail, especially in the workplace or in life, the easier it is to like get over your fear of failing, because it's inevitable. You will fail. Like, you will make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But as soon as you learn how to come back from that, like, the less scary failure is.
Have your biggest failures young. And obviously you
fail big young.
You can't choose all the time, but you can take more risks when you're young, and you should, because your biggest failures will inform you the most. They will tell you what a healthy amount of risk is, but also they will show you that it's not as bad as you think. Trust me, as a person who has failed a good amount and made some big failures, I came back better from those. There's not a thing, where that question where we say, oh, go back and remake a career decision. Those failures, I would not go back and change them at all. They completely altered who I was as a person, because they strip you down. And even in a corporate setting, it's not necessarily quite that deep. You're not always going to get fired for a failure, but it is going to make you be a little bit more humble and really assess what is going on every single time you do any process, at least in my mind. Some people are not that way, but that fear of failure, I don't think you should ever really strip it away. I'm a big believer in someone always poses a question on a podcast I listen to. Are you do you have an aspiration towards the highest achievement simply because you want to get there, you want to reach up the hill, or are you afraid of rolling down? And
that's good.
And I am much more afraid of rolling down, while a healthy balance of striving towards something. Because if you're just running away from something, at some point you're going to get lost. I think that that's a healthy balance, but I don't ever want to get rid of my motivation. And if you're a person that strives, you're a happy warrior, great. That can be what you're aiming for, but that doesn't mean that you should not be running away from something too. You should have a healthy amount of fear. There's a balance there, and I think personalities determine which one you're naturally going to be anyway. But that can relieve a lot of your anxiety once you understand yourself. And once you failed, hey, I can pick myself back up. But hey, maybe I'm just crazy. That's possible.
I don't think so.
Maybe we're just not anxious people.
Well, I am an anxious person.
I know
so that doesn't quite work that way.
But you're a very confident person at work.
I'm very confident. I'm very confident in general. But the confidence doesn't come from the lack of anxiety. The confidence comes from my confidence in the Lord. The more I trust God, that everything's going to work out for His glory and for my good, the more confident of a person I am. And I'm a very confident person. And I enjoy being confident. I'm happier that way.
Yeah,
and
she's just the best from Texas.
Significantly less, this is true, but I'm significantly less anxious the more I trust God and the more confident that I feel. I'm not confident in myself, but confidence in God. And that makes me, as a child of God who is an image bearer of Christ, more confident in myself. So I think also when it comes to, I think one of the things that people can do in the workplace that is one of the best things you can do when you're young, to get over your fear of failure and to get over your anxieties in general, is public speaking. I think that the more public speaking you do when you are young, the more confident of a person you will be, and the less anxious of people and anxious of getting work done and anxious of failure you will be. So I think that I think there's a direct correlation of I know that when I first got started in this workplace environment, like 2.5 years ago, I I originally didn't have to do a whole lot of public speaking, but within the first like 4 or 5 months, I started to do more and more public speaking. And by the end of that first year, I was doing quite a bit of public speaking. It was really intimidating at first because we do, at this organization, we do 3-hour-long trainings.
Yes.
And
mandatory most of the time.
To start, some of the when I first started teaching, I only do an hour at a time. And then as I got further and further into my work here, I was doing 3-hour long trainings by myself with very little, maybe a 2 or 3 minute break here and there. And some of these were online, some of these were in person in front of crowds, lots of different audiences. And that was very intimidating because at first it was very intimidating because it's like, what if I can't speak for 3 hours straight? What if I run out of content? What if I forget what I'm going to say? What if I run out of examples? What if what if the crowd is disengaged? And then how do you get them back? If they get disengaged in 15 minutes, how do you spend the next 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes getting them back? And like that's like something you have to get over. And then you do it a couple times and you realize it's not that bad. No, it's not that bad, and it's never as bad as you think it will be, and it's never as bad as you think it was.
Yeah, you're always going to catch that one person in the crowd. There will always be one person. I have never once, even if it's out of empathy, and the person that we talked about earlier who we were just having a conversation with downstairs, that person is the one in multiple cases when I've had to do public speaking who gives you eye contact,
she's very good about it,
who nods you along, who makes sure that she is engaged, and you will always find that one person in a crowd. You just have to be willing to look for it. Don't get in your head. Find it. Make that eye contact. Don't stay locked in on them. Look around because that's how you're going to be more engaging, but you absolutely have to put yourself in those situations because very seldom as a new person is your boss going to come to you and say, hey, I need you to do this 2-hour-long training. I need you to go brief these people on this. You have to say, I'm willing to do it. I want to do it. Hey, can I come with you? Maybe I can present for 5 minutes as an introduction to what we need to go over today. And that interaction that you have with your manager is extremely, extremely important when it comes to getting you into the situations to develop those skills.
So when your manager is anxious about something, how do you handle that?
So I have a few different examples because I've had a few different managers. For certain types of managers, you hop immediately on it. If they're anxious, they want to, it's not because it's for a lack of reason. It is they are feeling the pressure. They are looking at the numbers and it's not quite there. And for that type of person, you immediately have to jump on it because they have to feel like you are there with them. You don't have to necessarily take on their anxiety, but you keep a level head and you say, we're going to get this done. Many, many opportunities for proving that this is valuable happened to me when I was over in the different department before I moved. And those were my favorite moments. It's everything's crisis. You step up, you get the job done. Everybody, it doesn't matter if we were having a conversation 5 minutes ago. It doesn't matter if we have different techniques here or here. We are all on the same team. We are all going to get the job done. And if you're not adding to it, get out. I love those moments.
That is something that team does really well.
Exactly. Honestly, it's beautiful. And then I have other managers. I've had other managers in the past who I don't want to say you just ignore it because that's not fair. You take it seriously. You know that it's not pressing, or you'll know that it's pressing, but very often it's not when they get anxious. And if they were wrong about something, you tell them they were wrong. If they were right about something, you tell them whether they were right, and you try to be the mediator between their anxieties and having that portrayed outside the department. You as an employee never want to ever let those anxieties out in any situation. That is not your job. Your job is to do the work. So sometimes ignoring it actually is the answer. You compartmentalize it, you put it in the back of your head, and if they're wrong about something, you point it out. If they're right, you do what you have to do, but you do not let that affect you at all. And it's really hard to do, but compartmentalization is an important skill when it comes to interacting in corporate life in general, but also interacting with other people who are in hundreds of different moods. If you're at a place like ours, somebody could have a really great day and it's going to score you super high, and next thing you know, you deal with someone really low. Yeah. At that point, stay level-headed, stay where you're at. What about you? What do you do when taking on those anxieties of the people around you that are higher up?
I think it depends on who it is, but for the most part, and this goes for managing stress in general, for the most part, I use this analogy called the duck on water analogy. I use it a lot in my life. You may have heard me talk about it, but it's when a duck is on water, right? It looks like it's gliding. It looks like it's floating almost. You can't tell that it's swimming, but underneath, the duck is kicking its feet. It is kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking, because that's how it stays afloat and that's how it swims forward, right? But we don't see that. We see it. All you see is the top. You see the duck gliding on water, and for the most part, unless that duck is going down, no one really needs to see what's going on underneath.
True.
And so if there is something happening that my management needs to know about to help me, or I feel like I'm drowning, then that's when I communicate that with them. But for the most part, it's smooth sailing. Like, and once you get that in your head of like, well, I can handle this and things are going to be okay and it's smooth sailing. Like, how can I make this as easy for everyone else as possible? That's how I think, like, you become more confident in your work, and you manage your people around you's anxieties as well.
Yeah,
I see that a lot. Like, I've had different managers, and some of them are like my favorite managerial type for myself is as laissez-faire as possible. I want you to be hands off with me, especially if I'm good at my job. When I'm first getting started, help me as much as I need. I will ask as many questions as possible. I am a question asker. I am a learner. I will ask and ask and ask, and then I won't need to. And I think that like the favorite management that I've had has been management that says, listen, like I've watched you do your job. I've helped you get to where you need to be. I trust you to do your job.
Yes.
If you need something, you let me know. And that's how I prefer management.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes people are very like, nitpicky and they want to be involved in everything, and that's fine. But like I will say with those, it's like, okay, great. So you trust me, and that makes me feel like I can do my job better.
Yes.
And I'm going to do my job well because you trust me. And if I need help, I'll come to you. And that's like how I kind of manage it. I remind people as much as possible, listen, I know what I'm doing. I'm good at my job. If I need help or if something's going wrong, I will come to you. I promise. But I don't expect me to come to you if I don't need help, because just trust that it's getting done. I'll give you the numbers. I'll tell you where I'm succeeding so that you know that I'm doing well. But like, trust I'm doing good work.
Maybe it's, and I thought of something as you're speaking about that dynamic of trust, because you can only have it in a place where you have proved that you are actually at least worthy of a little bit of having the capability, being given the opportunity to earn more.
And you have to earn that. Like this is not for the first 6 months of your employment.
Exactly.
Like that's something that you earn by being good. When I took this role, even though I'd worked here for a year and a half before I took the role I'm in now, it took literally exactly 6 months for me to run the largest event that our organization has, for people to say, oh yeah, we trust Taylor. But it's like that's okay. That's a good thing. If you just say I trust you no matter what, it's your first week, go crazy. I'm gonna be like, that's bad management.
That's a bad manager.
But if you once you see that someone has proved themselves, let go of your anxieties on that. And I think that also the more that you prove yourself of doing good work, the less anxious your manager will be. Or I hope that's how it should be.
I think that more people will be coming into the workforce will be surprised at the amount of trust that you will get. And it's not to say that you don't deserve it. And maybe you're more competent than either of us, and maybe you get it within a week because you prove immediately that you are the perfect fit for that role. We're not trying to pigeonhole anybody. But I think a lot of people have a misconception of how micromanagey they are because they worked odd jobs. They work jobs that are not of this nature. They're not in a place where it is more meritocratic rather than simply, oh, let's get bodies in chairs who can do the job, but they don't necessarily have that underlying ethos of we want the best people, or at least we're going to let the best rise to the top. And that mentality can be a big shift for people. The realization that you're deserving of trust and that you don't always have to have someone pointing your rudder. You can actually steer yourself. I think that's going to be a culture shock for some people. Anticipate it. Be ready for it, and be worthy of being the person that they come to and say, I have a project for you. Step up. I trust you to do it.
Yeah. So now how do you manage your coworkers' anxieties?
I don't manage my coworkers' anxieties. I don't manage them. That's a terrible terminology. But in all seriousness, very often, the best example I can think of for managing other people's anxieties that I actively did was when I was in my previous role on campus, and I'm not necessarily a peer to the people that I'm interacting with. They are of my age. They are of similar intelligence. Some of them work harder than I did because it was their project. But I still came from a place of authority because I was getting paid to do what I was doing. But in those situations, very often being the person that shuts up and gets it done will always be reassuring. Here in this environment, it's a little bit different because there are a lot of people that will shut up and get it done. And sometimes it's not actually just about being the one that will put their head down and work the hardest. Sometimes you do have to listen and talk it through.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that, we have to sit down and be a therapist for people. But very often, most people, when they come to you with anxieties, at least in my case, if I'm saying I don't like something, if I'm worried about something, I don't know if it's going to work, it's not actually that I'm anxious about the process. It's about the fact that I want to go through with someone who I know has been hired for the right reasons, who is trusted by my manager. And that's what a healthy team does. Yeah. And that's what you do for your coworkers across an organization. And that's how you're all going to get better. I assure you. Being the lone wolf is fine. And there are benefits to it, but being the person that's willing to listen will very often bring a lot of knowledge about the institution to you. It'll help you help other people be better, as well as make you better at your job, or at least interplaying with other people, especially in a lower position. And now directors can't do that as much. Directors can't listen. They have big picture mind. When you're at this position, when you're a little bit lower, it is essential. It is essential to build those connections and listen. I know you are a really good listener. You're an amazing listener whenever somebody is worried about something.
I love to listen. I listen to everybody. I love people.
Yep. I'm sorry. I push
you also love people, but I think it's I'm a big community oriented person, and that comes out a lot in the workplace because I want every single person to feel acknowledged and seen. And so a lot of times I do hear about people's anxieties in the workplace, just because I am around and I'm a listening ear and I'm here.
You're very central as well. You're very, very central to any traffic that goes through.
Yeah, and I also am never at my desk.
That's fair.
So my desk is literally located in the middle of the organization.
4 times
but
today.
Also,
I went by and you weren't there.
I'm never at my desk because I'm always around.
Yeah.
I do a lot of building operations, so I'm just kind of everywhere all the time. And I'm also with people a lot of times as well. But with coworkers and managing a coworker's anxiety, I think the biggest thing you can do to be helpful to anybody in almost any circumstance when you're listening to someone who is in a difficult place is to say, I hear you. That sucks. That's hard. But also, I see that you have the tools already to do this. And you were hired for a reason. You were put in this place for a reason. You are going to be okay. And honestly, not even you're going to be okay. You have all the tools to succeed, and I trust that you will succeed. Because a lot of people just need to hear, they know that they will be okay, and they're freaking out, or they're nervous about something, or they've never done something before. It's their first time doing it. And they just need to hear it echoed back to them that they're going to be okay. And that it's not only that they're going to be okay, but that they have all the tools needed to be successful. Because a lot of people start to feel I don't have all the tools I need to, what if I say the wrong thing, or what if I mess up this project, or what if this is too much responsibility and they're giving me too much responsibility, and it's
fear of failure again. There it is.
You're going to be all right. And I think just sitting and listening to somebody is sometimes the best thing you can do to help manage their anxieties. Because sometimes they just need to get it out and put it out into they need to not be sitting on it anymore. And that's a really good thing. I think for me, the best example I have of this, where someone did this for me, this happens, this happened several times, but when I was managing this big event that I mentioned earlier, it was this it's the largest event I've ever ran. It ended up being 1,500 people. And I was terrified the week before.
And
I was sitting
you seemed on lock though.
Oh, I looked locked down.
That floating duck,
because I believe I'm floating on the river.
Yep.
I might be terrified, but I'm a duck on water.
Yep.
I'm a duck on water. You don't need to see what's underneath. I'm floating. And I went into our friend's office, and I said to him, I said, everyone keeps asking me questions they keep asking me like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you need help? Like, we really feel like you should be asking for more help. And the reality is, I put this on a project plan 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I've just been following it. And I don't think I need help right now. And I'm freaking out because what if I do need help? And then next week is going to come and this event's going to be here. And what am I going to do if there's things going wrong? And and everyone asked for help a week ago. And he was like, yeah, maybe you will need help in a week. But you're right. You put it on a project plan 6 months ago, and you've been following it. Like, is there anywhere that you think is going to go wrong? And I was like, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But what if I'm wrong? And he's like, you're probably not. And if you are, you'll handle it. But you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then this event ran very smoothly, and it was totally fine. And I had no reason to be freaking out of why I should be freaking out more. But
the self-doubt that is not actually from the self, it's from external features trying to push it upon you.
I was like, should I be asking for help? Should we be freaking out right now? And I wasn't, because it's like, you're well prepared and you do it. And but I needed someone else to look at me and say and echo back what I already kind of knew, which is, you have all the tools to be successful. You don't need to be freaking out right now. And as soon as he echoed that back to me, I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm good. I'm all right.
In those situations, the people that ask you for help a week ahead of time, they're probably, in our case, in this specific space where we're all there, they're going to say, oh, you need help now. I was asking about it before. Why didn't we figure it out earlier? But guess what? They're going to buckle down and they're going to do it. Everybody at our org has that mentality. For the most, there are a few exceptions here or there, but I would say a lion's share of people have the step up and do it. Now, some people have to be told, but even then, they will happily go do it if they are directed to do so.
And I think this is really big. If you're going to work in a movement-oriented organization, like, we are working all towards a common goal.
Yes.
Like, it's not like we're selling something. We are actively, like, we're working to build the conservative movement.
Yeah.
And so everybody is kind of just like I'll put down my stuff to help you with yours if you need that. Or like, this project is a really big project. It's really important that it gets done well. Like, let's all work together on this. And this might not be my project, but I'm going to help you. And I think that having that mindset is such a, I'm very grateful to have worked here.
There's not as much elbowing for a position as I perceive the corporate world to be. Then again, we're not the corporate world, but our structure allows us to understand that there is something bigger than us. It is in the mission statement, literally. And you don't come here as a young person who has very little skills, but lots of passion. You don't come here simply because, oh, I think I can work my way up. Oh, I'm going to come in with a big chest, overconfident.
Yeah.
You come here with a little bit of doubts, but you come here with a lot of passion. And if you play it right, and if you have the skills, you will succeed and people will help you get to the place you want to be.
Yeah, I think especially for movement things, you shouldn't come into the movement to be the next big person.
Yeah.
You should come into the movement to take out the trash.
Yeah.
You should come into the movement to be the person who stays late and who cleans up and who wipes down tables. You should come into the movement to serve well in the capacity that you can where you are. And like, the reality of where we work is there are times when directors or VPs or if our president was in better health, it would be him too. And even him, like, he stays late. Like, the directors and VPs who stay late and clean up tables. And that's because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about leading with integrity, and sometimes that means taking out the trash when no one else would. And we say it about our interns. We say nobody should be like a coffee getter. Like that. That's not what you're here to do. You're not a yes man. You're not a I'll do whatever you say. You're here to respect yourself, but everybody here can get their own coffee everybody here can take out the trash. Everybody here can wipe down tables. Everyone here can stay late. Like, it's not just for like the lower people because we're in the movement and you lead by example. And that's something that's really beautiful that we do.
Yeah, some of our VPs, they'll be calling me back in my old job. They'll be calling me at 8:00 my time, which is in the time zone I was in. It's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. They have kids, their time. I leave here at 6:30 some nights because I'm doing a little bit of extra stuff, and I still see the president's car sometimes. And I think to myself, wow, what are you doing? I thought I was working hard. So you see the passion lived out, even if it's not expressed in the same way, if it's not as zealous and overjoyous, you do see the people willing to put in the work.
This was about 2 years ago, but I remember there was a distinct moment. It was 11:45 p.m. So almost midnight, pushing midnight, and I was getting ready to go home, and I realized that there are two people in this building. And it was me who was wrapping up paperwork after we had a long event that went to like 10:30 or so. And I was wrapping up some paperwork. I was cleaning up the messes, and it was me, and it was the president of the organization, and he was here working late because leadership puts in the extra hours. And I think that was it was very encouraging to me, and it's part of like why I wanted to spend my 20s here, is getting to see leadership that like really cares about building the movement, and that's really beautiful. So
I think we've spent a lot of time on these guys. I think we've covered a lot. If you can dissect that, put it into like an essay for your final thesis about corporate culture, you're welcome. We just did it for you.
And you can cite us.
Yeah, exactly. You can cite this podcast with a link to this episode, and make sure you tell your teacher to like it. So we have a challenge. And subscribe. So we actually have a few things to get through. I'm going to blow through this challenge part very quickly. It's not super important. This week, I want you to send one no ask message, just a resource, one thing that you want to provide to somebody, a link, a YouTube video, and just say, here you go. Just be that one little person that's beneficial, maybe lowering their anxiety by outreaching, being kind, not expecting anything back in return. Goes for you guys too. Because these people in corporate culture, I'm always surprised how useful these sort of things are. These small little things that I never thought about before. They can actually improve your day. They can change your perspective, so on and so forth.
I think this is a really sweet thing to do. I challenge you. We are challenging you to text somebody and say, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying about you.
New age. Just email them. Just email them. You little new age. I'll just send them a Slack message.
Telegram them. Get on a typewriter and send it through Pigeon. No, I challenge you. Tell someone I'm thinking about you. Hey, like I'm not asking to hang out. I'm not asking for your time. I'm not asking for a phone call. I'm not asking of anything for you. I'm not asking you a question. All I'm saying is, hey, I'm thinking about you, and I love you, or I care about you, and I hope you're doing well. Just send it. And if you see something, send it to them and say, this made me think of
say
you.
Something.
If you see something, say something to them about how much you love them.
The hashtag more than a meme. That's what we're going to call this challenge, more than a meme. Because I send memes to people all the time without following up, and I probably could say a little bit more every once in a while.
I often send things to somebody. I sent something to a coworker earlier this week. It was a video of someone boiling a burger in Gatorade, and I sent it to him.
That's such a Texas thing.
I sent it to him saying thinking of you.
Why?
And he didn't have my number saved, so it was just a random number.
That looks like a serial killer's coming after you.
I had never texted him before. I had his number like somewhere else, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna text him. Thinking of you with a boiling in Gatorade burger.
Outrageous.
And I sent it to him. And that's the kind of thing that I just think everyone should be doing, you know?
No.
Like, I'm
Taylor,
thinking of you.
Stop it.
Here's
no one else is boiling
in
any of their food in Gatorade. No.
This guy might. That's why I thought of him.
Just because you had Gatorade stolen off your front porch doesn't mean that everybody is constantly thinking about Gatorade. It's not all about the Gatorade. But you know what this next segment's all about? It's about books. It's the shelf shuffle. It's the return of shelf shuffle.
So good.
It's been a while.
Do you have your book on you?
Oh, I have my book.
Okay.
It's hidden, but I have it.
Oh, wow.
It's actually hidden in the exact same place it was hidden.
Do you want to go first? Do you want to go second?
I want to go. I want to go second.
All right.
I claim second.
Okay, he can go second. I forgot to get his book today. I was gonna walk to Barnes & Noble, but then apparently Barnes & Noble's closed, where I live.
What did you think of the last one before we get right into that?
Yeah, let's do that. So the last book, I wish I had it with me. It is called
I forget. Grandma up to no good. An elderly woman up to no good.
An elderly woman up to no good.
Yeah.
It was very cute.
Yes.
I read it in an airport while traveling to Texas.
She was texting me about it too.
And I texted him updates as I finished each chapter because it truly was about an elderly woman who was up to no good. She was really up to no good.
Yeah, I wasn't lying.
She kind of just like wanders around killing people.
The most blasé way to say that.
Like,
Yeah, she just kind of goes
like,
into their apartment
she,
and
like,
she's like,
yeah, but kind of. She kind of just like finds herself in situations where she kills people. There's one story that was particularly dark where she kills her sister.
Yeah.
After caring for her sister.
Yep.
And like she experiences true freedom after she killed her sister. That's not. I didn't like that part.
Was not.
But I did think that the part of the man who was trying to steal from her and her killing him, that was kind of cool.
That's called justice.
Yeah.
It's called justice.
Like,
it's
he
street
was in
justice
her
in
apartment
Germany.
trying to steal from her, and he killed him. All right. That's kind of sick elderly woman, man.
The police ain't going to show up. Deal with that.
But they did show up, and that was part of the book.
Yeah, no, but they didn't show up fast enough. That's like
it was a very interesting story. And if you're looking for something really short and easy to read,
yes,
you can read it. I don't think I would read it again, nor do I think I would read like a sequel to it.
There is a sequel to it, by the way. There is a second one.
I don't think I would read. I don't think it's like, and like maybe if I'm like, I just need something easy. It was kind of like, it was like funny. It was like short and to the point. I don't think it was written in English. I think it was written in something else and translated to English, and that made it more to the point, which was, I think it was good, snappy. But it only took me about an hour and a half to read. It was or less, like an hour and a half while I was walking around the airport. So it was a good little short read.
That took me 3 days. And let's be
all right.
Let's be clear. I broke it up into sections because I wouldn't read more than a certain amount in days, but. You're still a really fast reader. I love how you say, it just takes an hour and a half. The average person can get through it in 2.5 to 3 hours if you are at reading comprehension level of 21 or higher.
Yeah, I mean, it was like yay thick, and it was only about that big.
You'll feel like you're a speed reader. You'll be
yeah, it goes by fast, and I enjoy that in books, so it was really nice. So that was my book review of an elderly woman who was up to no good, and she was indeed up to no good. And one thing that surprised me about it, she was really up to no good.
She was up to no good. She was up to no good.
And
what surprised me, she was up to no good. Was she up to no good? Was it
she was
possibly
up to no good.
The name of
So now the book that I have for you, which I have drawn, I'm going to show the camera. I've drawn on the paper because I have forgotten to get him a copy of it.
Embodying the definition of young, dumb, and broke.
Yeah.
We can't afford books, so we hand over paper copies.
Yep. So this is actually my favorite book that's not the Bible. And on the back I've written titles
I see
of
Diet
chapters.
Dr. Pepper.
Yes. I'll get to it. So this book is by John Green. Do you know who John Green is?
Yes, I know who John Green is.
That's why I was making him guess earlier.
He's not even close to Stephen King. No, I said Stephen King, and she said
he's kind
of
like
on the same level.
He's known not as an author as on the same level as Stephen King, but as like he's very similar vibes to me because he does so much on YouTube and he does like he's so popular in our generation. I think that like educational content wise, like he's made so much educational content that like that's on par to Stephen King.
No,
it is. I think if you were to look at all of his video essays and all of like Crash Course is John Green.
My approximation when you say you're on the right track would be an author of the similar kind or someone just as popular. Hank Green is nowhere near as popular. John Green.
Really?
Sorry.
I don't know.
I was thinking of his brother.
We should look at that.
Nowhere near
We'll
as popular.
take it off camera.
Stephen King. Yeah,
we'll take it off camera because I don't think you're right on that.
I am 100% right, but whatever. I'm sorry.
I think if you take all of the views that
I don't care about views.
Crash Course.
If you ask across the world, Stephen King or John?
I don't know.
No, there's no way.
I don't know.
You're talking about multi-generational on one side versus really popular with a specific generation.
Maybe.
Boomers don't know.
Anyway, so The Anthropocene Scene Reviewed, it's one of my favorite books. It is it's a nonfiction. He writes it in the tone, he reviews random things. like things that he thinks are interesting, or even things that he doesn't really think are all that interesting, and he writes it as if he's reviewing it like for a movie or for a book. So he goes into the history of the things, and then he gives it a rating out of 5 stars. It's very interesting. There are several chapters that I find the most interesting. The favorite chapter that has stuck with me is his chapter on Diet Dr. Pepper.
Let's go. I drink too much of it.
I think that you will love that. So I think that you should absolutely read that chapter.
Yes.
I also find his I'm gonna butcher this, but his Lascaux cave paintings, his chapter on that, very interesting. I also think his You'll Never Walk Alone chapter, it's the first chapter in the book. I think that one is really good. He also has a podcast.
Yes.
About this that and my favorite episode of that podcast is one I'm giving you homework as well to listen to, and it's about air conditioning and sycamore trees.
How much time do you think either of us have? We're so busy.
It's only like you do it while you drive. It's like 25 minutes.
That's fair, but I drive. Yes. No, I'm sorry. Yes, I will take my homework, teacher. Thank you. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I've only given you. So to be fair, I only said you need to read these 3 chapters of the book.
I'm gonna read the entire thing. Like we know.
But you don't need to read the entire thing for the podcast.
That's fair.
I'm giving you these 3 chapters of the book and this podcast episode.
Okay. I'm giving you something much easier, I assure you.
I don't think so.
And much more gripping.
This is a very easy read.
Okay.
And it's a lovely read.
Well, you're right. It's actually not about being easy at all. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh, the quality of this paper is so, look at that. Look at the reams. I'm sorry. I'm being a little bit mean.
I forgot.
But it's okay.
It's my fault.
It's okay. I bought your book.
But I drew you a picture, so.
You put in effort. That's what matters.
Do I get an A? No.
I'm not answering that question. I'm not answering that question.
Please.
Don't do the liberal thing and like whine to me in order to get it. No.
Dang it.
No.
A B?
Maybe. I'll talk about it someday.
No. That's good.
See, I'm preparing for that whole dadhood I was
talking
about
I'm
earlier.
preparing. That was good. Okay, continue. Sorry, I made myself laugh.
That was low-key really good. That was really good. Good. Look at it. We are just 2 up-and-coming parents. So, what I have for you to actually, I will leave it aside because I'm supposed to do the exact same thing.
Yep.
Do the exact same thing.
Neither of us know how our podcast works.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, we just get really caught up in giving each other things.
I'm so excited to share with you the thing that I love.
Exactly.
Okay, now tell me about how you felt about the book that I gave you.
The book was perfectly short, which I didn't listen. I gave you a longer book than I was supposed to, and you finished it in an hour and a half. You gave me a book that fell within the parameters, and it took me a week.
It was a hefty book. Like it's a spiritual book.
That's fair.
So there's a lot more to think about than the book your book was an easy read. It was cute. It was very sweet.
This is true. I would say the language was very approachable, especially for someone who was writing.
What was the name of the book?
Advice for Young Men.
Thoughts for Young Men, but
Thoughts
good.
for Young Men.
Good.
Yeah, by Ryle. Ryle or Reichel?
R.C. Ryle.
Ryle. Is it just R-Y-L-E?
I think so.
Yeah, but point being, he's a pastor. The introduction was necessary. Otherwise, the context of the language would have made no sense. He was a pastor in the 1800s, and by context clues, I'm guessing in England, considering all of his references to pastors and archbishops were English archbishops and even famous politicians. But it was it was an admonishment of men and the ones specifically that turn away from God. That's how I would describe it.
Sure.
I know it's not quite that simple, but to frame it that way is to give it its most honest appraisal as to why it's valuable. Because I would give it to a man who is turned away, who has not fulfilled one, if not all, of his duties to God. The line that stuck with me the most, and it doesn't necessarily speak to the overall, this is for young men, but it's an important lesson for young men. And I told you this the other day. It's today is for God, tomorrow is for the devil. That simple line is said more eloquently than I ever could. It speaks to the fact that it's not just about procrastination. It's not just about delay. It's the promise that tomorrow provides relief from what you have now. It is a lie. You have to confront your problems today. And the devil is only hoping and praying everybody who wants your downfall is only hoping and praying that you are not vigilant today, that you don't care about something today, that you leave your house unlocked today and you think, oh, well, it'll be fine tomorrow. All of the life lessons that I have learned are encapsulated in that statement. And it is so concise and so beautifully done. Mm-hmm. And he has a very elegant way of keeping on track. And I like his writing style as well. He loves to adjourn and go on many different tangents. There's lots of commas and complex sentences, which I enjoy. And yet he's always able to bring it back to the point. It was a great book. And I really appreciate you giving it to me. Yeah. Now we're going to talk about a book that's not godly, though. It's what I'm giving to you. I'd already described this to you. It's honestly kind of, I wouldn't say it's demonic because that would be overselling it. But it is definitely a book that questions the material nature of the world, but also our souls and what it's made out of. The book is called The Salt Grows Heavy. Very good bestseller. I actually have a red copy, my hardcover when they first came out, and then I saw this on the shelves at Barnes & Noble, and I said, oh, I have to get it for her. Also, it is embossed with my my label. You said that I should emboss it.
Oh, cute!
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That comes from my future wife. She is the one that got that. So
she's so sweet.
Yes. We got to stop saying future wife because then she's going to be there getting really, really giddy about it. And then
but she knows she's your future wife.
I know. We both know it. But at the end of the day, we don't need to keep overselling it to everybody else. Like,
okay. Do you want me to call her your girlfriend?
My significant other. Just because we got to be politically correct.
That's gay.
We got to be politically correct. We're in DC.
She's not a man.
Okay. Fair enough.
She's a beautiful woman.
My future honey. How about that? There we go.
Your current honey.
Oh, yeah, my current honey. There we go. That makes a lot of sense.
My little lady.
Mm-hmm. My little lassie. So, this
Your
book,
darling.
I like that one, actually. Honey is one of my favorite, but darling.
My darling, your darling.
No,
I can call her your darling.
Don't properly pronounce it.
That's cute, right?
Darling. Yeah, you got to roll that L
like
into
it. So much.
Yeah, come on. It's beautiful. Like she is. Point being overall, it will be a great, concise read. You'll be a little bit confused at the beginning because it kind of just jumps into what's going on. But I assure you, by the end, you will be shocked. I was taken aback the first time. But with that, I think we've gone through it. We'll both have. I'm going to go buy this myself. You don't have to buy it.
I'll go buy it.
No. I'll buy it. I have the Barnes & Noble credit card, and I get rebates for it. So I'll buy it. It's not a big deal. I'll just buy all the books for the segment. How about that? How about that in the future? I get all the rebates. Give me the money. Give me the money. So we have one more segment before we get to our joy, and we can make it really quick. We'll give a breakdown of what it is. We have corporate bingo. So ChatGPT, Claude. Claude was a really helpful assistant on this. And over the course of the next week, Taylor and I both have our own corporate bingo cards. We're going to take them into our meetings. That's why I also didn't show you for too long, because some of our coworkers may watch this and then they'll actually not use those words, and that's no fun. So over the course of the next week, we are going to keep tally of certain phrases, buzzwords that you hear in a corporate world a lot. We're going to mark it down, and then we're going to return here. We're going to have a timestamp, essentially. So when you hit 5, when you get 5 in a row, 5 across, whatever it may be, when you get bingo, you write down the timestamp, and we don't reveal it until we get there, or we could just tell each other
I
first.
think the rule should also be you can't bait someone into saying it.
Oh, come on.
Because I'm looking at some of these, and like the word scalable, I might have to say to somebody, do you think this is scalable? So that they repeat back to me, yeah, I think this is scalable.
See, in my department, it would be really simple, because I would just say, so what do you think the growth expectations are? And then they would say, oh, it's so scalable. That would be so easy to bait them into it without it being weird. Like it actually being natural language.
I think my boss is the only person I can get to say scalable to me.
No, you could come. Well, yeah, in a meeting, because actually in a meeting. Well, I mean,
but can this be workplace? Because like low-key, I don't think I can do it for this meeting.
You want to rock paper scissors for it for all time?
Yeah.
All right. We'll just do one.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. It is all workplace. Great. I'll have this done by 9 a.m. by 9 a.m. tomorrow.
It! I'm a winner.
I'll have it done first.
Shoot.
I have more people that I work with in my office all the time.
I'm just going to have to sit in your office at all times.
But, dude, my job is to literally go around everybody this week. I will have it checked off. No problem. Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna lose.
Dang it.
It's okay. It's
Dang
okay.
it.
You know why it's okay? Because that may make you sad, but we're going to return to one of the greatest segments for making the young populace happy that listens specifically to our podcast and not the shorts, the actual podcast. So like 100 people. Joy of the week. Taylor, I went first with the frustration. I would love for you to go first with the joy.
My joy this week, I went country dancing. I've been country dancing a lot lately. I used to go dancing, like when I was in Texas, I used to go country swing dancing, like somewhere between once a week to like 3 times a week. And it was literally, I went swing dancing once a week. Like it wasn't I skipped a week or it was almost once a week. It was, if I'm not going Thursday, I'm going Friday. If I'm not going Friday, I'm going Saturday. You can't stop me. It's like one of those days I will be swing dancing.
That's an intense schedule.
I loved it. But then I moved to DC from Texas and swing dancing became a lot harder. I kind of fell out of it. I was in a relationship that he didn't really want me swing dancing. So for like a year of that relationship, I didn't really dance, which sucked. And then after I got out of that relationship when I moved to DC, I just kind of like quit dancing because I hadn't danced in a year and I just didn't do it. But I've been dancing a lot lately. Like it's like going back to love, you know? It's like I'm doing things intentionally to that like make me happy and that I find joyful, and it's very easy. I found someone who will go with me consistently, and the last couple times I've had friends in town, so like I've gone with them, and we have coworkers that go every single time there's dancing they go, which I did not know, but it's like it was so funny to me to be like, oh, you're here, that's so fun, oh my gosh, like, and so I can dance with some coworkers. A lot of people there are all conservative, which is really nice. It's just a really nice atmosphere, and gosh, I love swing dancing. Like I love to do it.
Watch out, boys, she's gonna fall in love with swing dancing.
It's true. Once you go swing dancing, you never go back. And I'm just so happy to be back doing that and be intentionally doing things that like get me out of the house and that I enjoy and that aren't work, because I love work.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Well, I take it back. A lot of people don't.
We love work.
We love work. We're here really late working on something that's not work. But.
Yeah. But it's like I'm very happy to have gone swing dancing. It's just a joy. It's a joy to do things that you love, and it's joy to do things like, I think swing dance is a really good example of something we were talking earlier, like public speaking.
Yes,
it's like everybody who learns how to dance is bad at it at some point. Most and definitely. I think that's a really good thing for me to remember, of like, I mess up, and everybody, there's not a single person on the dance floor that hasn't made a mistake that night. But you're all there having fun, and you laugh it off, and you keep going, and it's just a good time. You meet so many people that have so many different styles and so many different like backgrounds and stories, and it's just a really great thing. So if you haven't been country swing dancing recently, go country swing dancing, because it is worth your while.
To her point, you become a better dancer the more relationships you are in. And I know this sounds really, really weird. Hold on. Okay. Let me explain why. Because you can go out and dance and do a whole bunch of things. If you're not like her and naturally okay with it, you're like me, who sucks at dancing. I am much better at dancing in rhythm because I've had people that I confide in, that I trust, and I know won't judge me. And then from there, I take that back. For a while there, I didn't care in the middle. I didn't care if I was bad. But I got better intentionally as I got older, because it is a skill that's actually valuable.
I think it's kind of the inverse for me. The only like real relationship I was in, like I became a worse dancer because he doesn't dance.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair. He would dance with me a little bit, but I genuinely think that I became a worse dancer because I was with someone who didn't have a dancing culture, didn't want me to go out dancing with other people, which is fine, but it also like then he didn't dance, and so it's like I just became a worse dancer, and over the course of that year I became worse. So it's like it's just different.
That's fair.
But I do think this: if you're intimidated to go dancing with somebody, or you're intimidated to go dancing at all, when you get asked to dance, when you go to the country dance, you get asked to dance, or if you ask somebody to dance, I'm not against it, asking people. you can tell them, hey, like, if I make mistakes, just move on.
Yeah.
Or you can say, hey, I'm new and I'm learning. Can you show me something? And you will learn.
You lead.
Yeah.
You take the reins.
Especially if you're the girl, like you're following the guy. And with guys, if you're trying to learn how to dance, look on the dance floor to someone to a woman who looks very confident, and then like ask her, can you teach me something? And she will, because that's the kind of the culture.
And maybe 5 years later you'll end up married. Who knows? And
it's not about that. I don't.
No,
really, like,
I'm not. Actually
dancing
saying
is not about that. It's far more about just like being in a community and learning something new.
But if you're confident enough to ask that person, maybe, I don't know. I know a lot of people who actually started their relationships doing swing dancing in high school and college. So that's why my disposition is very similar. A lot of people are conservative and they go to these events. So my disposition is naturally, oh yeah, they're going there to find a wife and get married, or find a husband and get married.
I'm just going to dance, man. I love to dance.
Once again, guys, watch out. She's fallen in love with the dance once again.
I'm a bad fundamental Baptist because I'm not fundamental Baptist, but I'm a really good Reformed Baptist. Love to dance.
Oh, I forgot about the really fundamentalists, but I actually know one or two of them, and they have a point. I think they have a point there.
Okay, that's crazy. Move on.
No, I think there's something there, but we'll go on to that later.
No, maybe there is, but like,
yeah,
but like dancing. Oh, come on. Okay, continue.
Dancing versus
what's your
dancing.
joy? Yeah, but so like this is not. I don't dance.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
For Jesus.
There you go. Okay, so joy of the week. Very different note, though. Of course, positive as always. The person that we've mentioned once or a few times today, saying we were talking with her down there. She came to help. Taylor, good friend.
Let's call her A.
Call her A, maybe Tin, maybe B. Never mind. I lost how to actually spell her name. It's fine. No, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know the variation of her name. I never know how to spell the variation of her name. I know how to say her name, but I can never remember if it's one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's way besides the point.
Call her A. Let's call her A.
Well, I don't think we have to give her initial, but whatever. So A, she is a person who is deeply adverse to AI. I was going to say technology, but that's not fair. She has her system. She knows what she likes, and she uses it. She is very hesitant to use ChatGPT, as we have an account here at the corporation, as I like to call it lovingly. We had a training in order to inform our users how to use it well. I happened to be the person leading this training, as it is under my domain. And I spent specific time with her beforehand creating a really cute model. Actually, it was it was a model that rated baby hippos. And one of the factors that the AI took into consideration is how muddy is he.
I'm scared of hippos. Okay, continue. I'm really scared of baby hippos.
Why?
Like what Mudang or whatever.
Mudang.
Mudang is scary.
Well, that's why it's actually called Mudang Raider, I believe.
Mudang is scary.
No,
I'm scared of Mudang.
No, okay. Besides your fears, point with that story being we had experimented. She didn't use it on the regular. Now she brought to us a great success story of not only using it, but using it intelligently, rather than simply saying, oh, I can trust AI to do my job for me, which is what a lot of people who initially uptook it without understanding what it was, including myself. That is 100% true. I was just like everybody else. I didn't understand what I was getting myself into. But she made the right move. She didn't just hand over everything. She handed over a template. She took the information out of her mind in the very first place about statistics, overall ratings, things like this, combined the two, made sure that it was current, and then provided a few extra details in order to go back and forth with the AI. And I know you may be thinking, if you're our age, or maybe you're a really tech literate person, okay, this is really basic stuff. This is a big step for her, and I was happy to see that smile on her face when she was not only telling us she did it, but honestly bragging. And I mean that not in a way where she's trying to be boastful.
She was like, guys, guess what you're like, Alex, you're going to be proud of me. Guess what I did today.
And rightfully so.
And you know what? We were proud of her.
Exactly.
For facing her fears and learning the AI, how to use AI well.
And giving into the overall, the end all be all overlord on this earth. Because I think AI will be that. I think past our kids.
Actually, the Lord Jesus Christ is the end all be all overlord of this earth. So
overlord doesn't have positive connotations, and Jesus has positive connotations.
He is the Lord over this earth.
I know.
By definition, overlord. The Lord is the Lord over this earth.
Overlord has negative connotations, and that's not what I'm implying.
Christ is the Lord over this earth.
And Christ is merciful. I do not believe AI will be merciful. That's why I use the word overlord.
Well, good, because Christ reigns over AI.
Well, beautiful thing is, it's not going to matter because it's not going to happen during our lifetimes. It's not going to happen during our kids' lifetimes. And even if it does, we have salvation in God. That's the actual joy of the week.
Yes.
Fair enough?
It is. Christ is the joy of every week.
I would say every day. You know what? No. Every second. All right. And with
I would say Christ is the joy of every millisecond. So I'm actually a better Christian than you are.
There's no doubt.
Cut the credits.
There's no doubt about that. So with all that said, stay safe.
You don't have a player on your truck. I was at a loss for words the first time that we spoke. You're looking for a brutal to treat.